had been on a good run of practicing well and bringing, high-level competitiveness to the games. And what I thought one of the reasons that we've been playing so much better is we were able to overcome hurdles in the game, able to overcome when we were struggling or not playing as well or not making shots. And tonight we didn't. And neither team had a 3 at halftime. And as much as we were getting out rebounded, the second chance points were tied at 2. So it wasn't by any stretch that we should have had our head down, but we did. And we never got our competitive level or intensity level where it needed to be inside of the game. And the two biggest things are, and these have been Achilles' heels through a lot of the year. We're not physical enough at times, and we don't talk nearly enough. And we gave up some baskets and threes, and we gave up some shots where we just weren't locked in on our man. And what happens is when you lose your spirit a little bit, or when your offense isn't going the way that you want it to go, you've got to be mature enough to go back on the other end and overcome it. And we've been getting a lot better at that. We really have. You've seen it, I've seen it. We've been getting a lot better at that. Tonight we weren't. And they did a good job. They capitalized on our mistakes. That's one of the things about this league. You make a mistake, the teams are good enough to capitalize on it. But we've got to move forward. It's disappointing that it's the last game for 6 seniors and we go out that way in the court, but we've got to move on quickly from it, for South Carolina. And hopefully everybody will look at it and understand that you've got to take another step in the direction of playing with the maturity and the confidence when things aren't going well and when shots aren't falling or those type of things. And it can't get quiet and it can't get non-aggressive. And unfortunately, that's what happened to us tonight.
Questions?
Now you mentioned that they weren't physical enough at times. I think the rebounding total was 50 to 28 or something like that. Was that more of not being physical enough or out of position? What do you think?
We didn't hit. Yeah, we have blackouts weren't as good, whether it was inside or whether it was the guards. And we just lost our focus. The other night against Florida, we didn't give up on it. Florida runs tremendous out of bounds plays, right? We didn't give up a basket, right? Tonight, we're not switching. I mean, we're miscommunicating on switching. All of a sudden, get layups, right? There was, and that hurt us, right? Those kind of things, because nobody's trying to make a mistake, but you got to be able to make up for it with aggressiveness. Not necessarily aggressiveness offensively, but doing your job defensively, getting into your man when the shot goes up, getting back, getting matched up, those type of things. And but again, you look at the second chance points. For as bad as the rebounding numbers were, it was only one, a point difference. But it was more about our determination to get into people tonight, and that's where we got to improve.
Can you put a finger on why you think your team lacked intensity?
No, because they were ready to go. No, I really can't. Very good practices, really good walkthrough. I think we regressed when we weren't playing well, and I think that's. Neither team was. I mean, we were both sending basketball back offensively to start the game. Okay, I mean, but that's where you just got to keep going, right? You just got to keep going. They did, we didn't. And so no, if I had it, we were searching and pushing and trying to find different buttons. And if I had to pinpoint it, I'd have figured it out during the game. I just didn't, unfortunately.
Nick and Turtle both said that they didn't like to use the word disappointed because of the negative connotation. Is that something that you share a feeling?
I really don't know, right? We got beat. We just got to get better. I really don't have adjectives, unfortunately. I'm sorry. I just don't. We need to be more. We needed to communicate better. We needed to be more aggressive with our physicality, and we needed to not get our head down. We missed a lot of layups. I mean, we're gonna look back at this film and we missed some open threes, certainly, and we missed some layups. We missed some close shots. Those go in, it's a different story, but they weren't, right? That's part of the game. So you've got to be able to go back down and not allow that team to get those easy baskets, and that's where we were as good.
Questions for Coach Green?
That good? Oh, you got one? Go ahead.
Coach, it seems like a lot of the issues you're talking about are mental type issues. At this point in the program, is that
No, I'd say they're more physical.
more physical?
Yeah, when you're not physical, that's a physical issue, right? You gotta be aware. You gotta step into people, be aggressive in that. Yeah, I mean it's a long season for everybody. It's especially long when you've been as close as we've been in these games as of late. you know, the early, I look at it this way, the early start of the schedule, there's no way we were ready for that, right? With those teams that we were playing early on, and we just weren't. And we didn't have any confidence to start out of the gate, right? And so it's just the way it is. So we struggled a little bit, but we've continued to get better, right? We've continued to improve. We continue to have energy, and we put ourselves in position to win games, you know, against some really good teams, and then get one the other night. And for some reason tonight, we just regressed inside of that game with that. And I think certainly there's some mental, but I think you've got to be physically aggressive, step into your man and make a hit, right? And you got to do it time and time again. And so that's the biggest thing to me.
Well, that's kind of what I mean in terms of handling adversity and, you know, mental things like that. Is that sort of the biggest hurdle this program has to take at this point?
I don't know. You know, I don't know. I'm just focused. You know, I'll assess. You know, when leadership is vision, okay? Leadership is perspective, but coaching is urgency. Coaching is having some energy, and coaching is trying to fix what you got to fix right now, right? And as the head coach of the program, you got to wear both hats. You got to wear the leadership hat. You got to wear the coaching hat. So right now, I don't have any perspective. I'm gonna wear the coaching hat. We got to make sure we're getting ourselves better and doing what we need to do to be ready and more competitive against a very good South Carolina team on their senior day.
You say you're trying to find the, you know, fixes offensively tonight. One, was that why Tyree started the second half? And two,
Well, they weren't guarding Christian, right? And that's what we have now. They were not going to guard Derek, okay, on the perimeter at all, and they weren't going to guard Christian at all. So we were not getting any lane penetration. We weren't getting anything really good in the lane, and we needed to try to get the court spaced a little bit better. But that's just part of it. So you're in that type of situation. You have to make the decision. Okay, am I going to put defense in front of this right now, or am I going to put spacing and movement in front of this right now? Usually I would put defense in front of it, but in this case, we needed to open up the court because we couldn't get any penetration. Tonight, and again, it is what it is, but tonight it finally hit us. Ray's not out there, right? I mean, it's really easy to look at this. I mean, he is one of our two leading scorers. I mean, you have to, you got to guard him all over the court, right? You've got to guard him in three, you can guard him in the post, he can facilitate, he's our inbounder. You know, it's a different matchup for people. So all of a sudden now, when he's not out there and you're trying to play some guys that they don't have to guard as much to the three-point line, all right, now it changes your spacing. It changes your offense. Our cutting wasn't nearly as good. That's physical as well. Our cutting wasn't nearly as good to start the game, or inside of the game. But bottom line is there weren't very many places to cut. They sagged very well, right? And we've got to figure out how we're going to. It's not the first time it's happened, but we've been cutting so well, and we've been able to knock down some threes that would loosen it up, and then we get some offensive rebounds and things of that nature. We just didn't get those tonight. You know, we didn't hit the threes early on that would have, A, brought the confidence, but B, most importantly, all right, made them come back out a little bit more, right? And they really did a great job of compacting the